Okay, so it looks like the release date for Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon has been announced. Let's get right to it. Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon Part 1 sets limited 70 millimeter theatrical run in 4 major cities ahead of Netflix debut. And this is from Variety. This was today, 9 a.m. Pacific time, so around noon Eastern. This is by Zach Sharf and Pat Saperstein. And it says Zack Snyder's space adventure Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child of Fire, has set a 1-week theatrical run ahead of its debut on Netflix. The film will be playing exclusively on 70 millimeter from December 15th to the 21st at the following locations: Los Angeles, Egyptian Theater; New York City, Paris Theater; Toronto, TIFF Bell Lightbox; and London, Prince Charles Cinema. Netflix owns the Paris Cinema and the Egyptian Theater. The first Rebel Moon film streams December 22nd on Netflix. I got to tell you, I'm in the southern New Jersey area, around the Atlantic City area. I'm seriously considering taking the day off and just taking a bus up into New York for the day and going to catch some Rebel Moon. This just looks fantastic. And Zack Snyder absolutely should be seen on the big screen. Probably about a 3-hour one-way trip for me, but giving it serious consideration. Sophia Boutella, Ed Skrein, Cleopatra Coleman, and Carrie Elway star in Snyder's latest, which centers on an enigmatic young woman living in a peaceful colony on the outskirts of the galaxy. She's given the task of finding warriors who can fend off an impending invasion by a tyrannical despot. So this is Zack Snyder very much doing a combination of Kurosawa, Seven Samurai, and Star Wars. I can't wait. Snyder said recently that Rebel Moon and his last film, the Netflix zombie action movie Army of the Dead, are part of the same universe. Army of the Dead has a pretty vast mythology that never made it into the movie, he told Total Film. There's actually a character from Rebel Moon in Army of the Dead animated series that we never did. Snyder originally conceived Rebel Moon as a Seven Samurai-inspired Star Wars movie that he pitched to Lucasfilm shortly after Disney acquired the studio in 2012 for $4.05 billion. The director wanted to create original characters, and he pushed for an R-rated script, which ultimately led Rebel Moon to become its own property outside of the Star Wars franchise. And I'm perfectly okay with that because, with all the drama that Snyder's had with WB, and the last thing he needs to do is to get tied up with Lucasfilm. It looks like Netflix is giving him some free and creative reign so that the creator can create. And that's what I want to see when it comes to Zack Snyder. I want to see some smash mouth action, some epic, heavy metal style shit going on. And so much so that, like I said, I'm thinking about taking the day off and just taking the 3-hour bus into New York City for the day. I did that once about 20 years ago. I wanted to see a movie. I think it was Paul Schrader's Dominion, the prequel to The Exorcist. And it was only playing, I think, in limited cities, Los Angeles and New York. And I took the day off, went up there, saw the movie, grabbed a slice of pizza, got back to the Port Authority and took the bus back to Atlantic City. And that was a good day. The director wrote the script as a single film, but Netflix was hesitant to take it on because the script clocked in at 172 pages. So a page is typically a minute, so that's just under 3 hours. At that length, Rebel Moon would have had a runtime around 3 hours. The two parties agreed to split the film into 2 halves, with the second Rebel Moon film arriving next year. Snyder is also working on 2 separate cuts of each Rebel Moon movie. One cut is a movie that, quote, anyone can enjoy and watch, end quote, while the other will be more explicit and strictly for adults. So we've already got a Snyder cut coming up for both films, and I've talked about that already. Quote, I think for fans of mine and people who are ready to take a deeper, harder dive, that'll be fun for them, end quote. Absolutely. Snyder told Vanity Fair earlier this year. He later revealed that Netflix Tudum, that the director's cuts will include nearly 60 minutes of additional footage. The director's cut is close to an hour of extra content. So I think it's a legitimate extended universe version. Snyder said you really get to see a lot. It's just more painted in all the way. Just more painted in all the way. The director's cut is a settle-in deep dive, which I have notoriously done throughout my career. I don't know how I got into this director's cut thing, but what I will say about it is that for me, the director's cuts have always been something I had to fight for in the past, and nobody wanted it. It was this bastard child that I was always trying to put together because they felt like there was a deeper version. And with Netflix, we shot scenes just for the director's cut. So in that way, it's a real revelation because it gives that second kick at the can for big fans. The second Rebel Moon film, titled The Scar Giver, will arrive on April 19th, 2024. So my understanding, of course, we're finding out that the film is going to be released in theaters on December 15th. But my understanding is that tickets will go on sale on November 15th. So in just over a week, tickets are going to go on sale for Rebel Moon. I imagine those tickets are going to go really fast. I'm going to try to grab them as quick as humanly possible. And hopefully I will be lucky and get myself on a round trip back to New York. To New York and back, whatever you want to call it. Let me know what you think. Are you interested in this? I mean, is anybody that watches this interested? London, New York, Los Angeles, I think Paris. So, this is kind of a big deal. We're not, he's not going to make, $1 billion because it's only going to be a 1 week release. But I'm pretty confident that at least on opening day, those theaters will sell out. It's going to be a big time when people are, out in the streets shopping for Christmas gifts and things like that. So, a nice run to the theater sounds like a good time. Get yourself a bowl of popcorn and watch some Smash Mouth Zack Snyder stuff. Okay, that's my video. Leave a comment here. One word comment is fine. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Help me get to 500 so I can monetize this bad boy and hopefully get this channel to take off. I'm coming up towards the end of the third year now. So, yeah, it's all good. You take care, and I'll see you all in the next video. All right. Thank you very much.